voice is a bit hoarse from underuse, but I wanted to talk about this like while it's fresh in my brain. I was like going through some of my old little journals and some of my old videos too, and for me, each age I am, that's a different person. Like, I don't feel like I'm the same person as I was when I was 20 or when I was 15 or when I was 7. Like, these are different people to me. And I think that's why I can look so fondly and hold them in such a regard, like, want to be protective of them, even though it's the past and even though it's still me. I have this weird thing in my brain where, which I was like going through this when I was like, listen, I have issues with this kind of thing where I kind of analyze myself and I analyze my habits and my actions and why I do things. Am I allowed to feel this? Am I allowed to do this? And it's not like there's some invisible person telling me. It's just like I think it's mostly like an image thing. Like, one big thing is that I have a lot of contradictions, and it took me a really long time to come to terms with it and be comfortable with the fact, instead of like wrestling back and forth about it and like, you know, fucking in my brain, sitting here thinking over and over, like, oh, like going in circles and stuff in my thinking. And the biggest contradiction was the whole two versions of me, inside me and the outside me, because they seem so drastically different. Because, you know, inside I've always been depressed, you know, I've always had loneliness, had a lot of trauma, a lot of I'm not going to explain every single thing, but I had a lot of that stuff inside of me. And then on the outside, I was very high achieving. I was always a leader, likable. Everybody liked me. I was like, I said I talked about this before, but I don't even think I want to talk about that video, but it's still up. I was very arrogant when I was making that video. And I think I said that, and that is the part of the thing I'm talking about, because I'm like, I said it was arrogant. I'm like, oh, I think it may sound arrogant when I say this, and like, that line of thinking is stuff I did all the time, and mostly it was in here. And that's why I'm like struggling, like, should I delete this video? I'm like, but no, I should keep it, because that was the state of my mind in that time. And I've grown and I've changed so much, like so much so that like looking back on that video is so sad, because I was so sad making that. I was so upset talking about that. It's not even that I'm like happy now. I'm actually still upset. I'm actually really still sad. I'm actually really still lonely, but I'm not really obsessed as much. Like, with the whole compulsive analyzation, intellectualizing my feelings, like that was something that's very big for me. And I think I still struggled impulse to do it, because I still haven't gotten to the point where I let myself feel things and feel comfortable with doing that. Like, even now, me saying that I'm sad and I'm upset, I can't just let that be. Like, I can't just say it. Like, I'm sad. Like, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm sad, but it's because of this going on right now, and because of these different things that go on right now. And also, you know, I've always been sad. I've been sad as long as I can remember. And why am I sad? And am I allowed to even show that? Would people not like me anymore? People like me because they don't ever see me sad. People like me because they like, that's the crazy fucking thing. And the whole inside me versus outside me, I don't think I ever really got a chance to fully explain it, but therapy was my biggest op because of this two people thing. Because I would go to therapy and I would talk about stuff, but then they would know about my achievements and stuff, and I understand like their ration, which I could never do this before. Before, I would be mad and I would say, I'm mad at this and I hate this and I hate this, and I never thought about the other side. I never thought about what were their actions, what were they trying to do, what were they probably trained to do, and what did they think was best. I never really sat with that, and I can do that now. So like, now that I'm talking about this now, when I've had this feeling for years, it's a big change. So for me, it's like, you know, sitting here thinking all the times therapists were just like, oh, but you go really good in school, like I feel like you can be someone, you're special, you're important, and da 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 da. And at the time, that shit made me so angry, because I'm like, I didn't come here to hear this, you know, I didn't come here to hear this. Or it's like, I don't think I ever got a chance to say that I was so fucking tired of hearing that, you know? And me even saying this now, me 3 years ago would have been like, oh, I'm so arrogant for saying this, or I'm so rude for saying this. I'm like, but no, I'm not. Like, it shouldn't be rude, because that's how I feel. And maybe some people will see it as rude, but it's like, that's just how I feel. And I think that's my issue sometimes, is that I don't want to come off a certain way. And it's not That's it. I'm gonna leave it right there. You see, that's the issue of like what's not like, you know. But it's more so like it makes me upset, and I understand why they're saying that, because they're looking from a strengths-based perspective, which I learned this in my own career. I learned this in my own field. We're supposed to use those tactics and use those that language and use that as our base mode to like uplift our client and help them find things within inside of them to help them along their journey in their case and blah 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 blah. But the issue was I fucking hated that shit, and it was because I heard it all the time. I heard it all my life, my entire life. My entire life, everybody always told me, you're so smart, you're so beautiful, you're intelligent, you're gonna go far, you're gonna do big things, I believe in you, and this and that. And in that moment in therapy, I didn't want to hear that shit anymore, because I was talking to them about things that I didn't talk to those people about. All those other people that heard that I was so strong, or who said that I was so strong and I was so smart and I was intelligent and all this kind of stuff, they didn't know that I was struggling with anything. They didn't know what I was struggling with at home even, you know? But this time I'm sitting here and I'm talking to a professional and I'm telling them all the bad stuff, and they're still focused on that good shit. And it's like, I don't want to talk about that right now. Like, push that to the side. Let's talk about the issue. And I hate that a lot of them didn't see it as an issue. They were like, oh, this is like the last therapist I saw. She's like, you know, you've just been in school so long, and like you're just getting the hang of like being, because it was like right after I graduated college. She's like, oh, you're just getting the hang of it and stuff. Like, you don't need to be so hard on yourself. Don't push yourself. And I'm like, that's not the point. That's not the point. Hey, I haven't folded laundry in a couple of months. I can't even eat right. You know, I can't even keep my room clean. And she's like not focusing. She's like, but you graduated college and you've been through so much and you're so strong. And it's like, I don't have to hear that anymore. I know it. I know it. I was born with all the bad cards. And I know me making it to where I am in life is a crazy, humongous feat. What fucking ever. I'm still upset though. I'm still sad though. I went so long wanting to end my life. I didn't think I would make it to 18, let alone 24. Let's talk about that. You know, like, and that was like, I guess the reason. And I, like, after that last time, I was like, you know, I'm just not gonna go to therapy. And I'm like, now I need to go. I need to go. Like, I can't deal with this on myself. I went so long dealing with everything by myself. Every negative feeling, everything, I sat through it, and I knew the feeling. And I went through all the different stages of learning what that feeling is, why that feeling happens, what happened to cause that, and what in my lifeline, my timeline of my life predicted this, and like, that makes me go crazy. That's crazy talk. That, like, it was a compulsion. And like, I just didn't want to feel anything, and it was so subconscious. Like, I wasn't purposely being like, I'm not gonna feel mad, let's talk about why I feel mad. Like, no, my brain just automatically did that. And even when I like, and I'm worried about going to therapy, because even when I explain this like this, I can tell you exactly why. I do that, but I don't know what to do with any of it, you know? Like, I could be like, oh, you know, I grew up in a household where negative feelings, you weren't allowed to express those. You weren't allowed to get upset. You weren't allowed to get mad. You couldn't even huff your breath. You couldn't turn your back. You couldn't do any of that. So I just dealt with it on my own, you know? Or I felt like I couldn't talk to the adults around me. I never felt like I could talk to anybody. And so that's why I always talked to myself, and I did it all in my head. But I know all this stuff. Like, I wish I can just give them my brain for a second and fix it. And it's not even that I think I need fixing, but I'm like, what happens next? What do I do now? Because I already know everything. And it's not like, am I going to be like this forever? Or like, you know, what's going to happen? And like, I do think I've had some growth in a couple of years, because like, even from how I was explaining stuff in that other video, I look back and I'm like, oh, I don't think that anymore. I don't believe that anymore. I do think the thing on depression, I can't remember exactly how, but what I said, but I do feel like that was really accurate, and I still kind of feel like that to this day, you know. about how depression, like managing depression, and how it's something that like you just take along with you, because sometimes you don't like get better, you know, or you can get better, but sometimes it doesn't go away. And I'm really sad with the fact that like I don't think it's gonna like fully like disappear from my life, because I've had it for so fucking long. And because of the way I am, like I perform my highest and my best when I'm doing my worst. I produce so much, so good grades, I do well at work, you know, I have all these things on my resume and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, but I still feel empty, you know. I still go, my room is so messy right now, there's mold in my sink, like I haven't slept, I don't sleep, and it's like what I do now. And it's like I keep saying it, it's like, but I don't have time to address any of that right now. That's my biggest thing. It's like I don't really have time right now. Like this is actually a really busy time in my life right now, and I don't have time to sit down and address it. And it's so annoying because, like I said, I know everything. I know exactly what I need. Like therapy is one, but I need a support system. I need people that I can talk to and rely on. I need to hang out with people. I need to see people besides like when I go to work or go to the store, you know. And because that's what makes me happy, like being around people, even doing like regular watching TV and stuff. Like I was like the happiest when I was doing something with somebody, but it's like I don't have time for that right now. And also making friends in your 20s, like, oh, I feel like those fucking annoying ass people, I mean they're like, making friends in your 20s is hard, like like I feel like that, because I'm like, shit, I sat back and I'm doing the thing again. I'm a lip slide this time, but I remember like realizing why I had no friends, and I'm like, oh, it's because I made friends in structures. I made friends at school clubs, when I was at work, but I don't know how to do that when I don't have the physical thing anymore. Even now, like when I'm at work, like I don't feel the need to be like, hey guys, you want to go out on Saturday or something, like no. But like that's why I was able to do good when I was in the structure. When I was young, I had a horrible home life, but I went to school and it was amazing, you know. I had good grades, all my peers liked me, and that was away from my house, and I always had adults at the school who looked after me, who believed in me, who saw something in me. And that's why I feel like, though, like when they say that shit during therapy, it's like, girl, I already heard that. Like, no shade, I already heard that. Let's talk about the other stuff, because those people at the school, they knew vaguely, you know, like, oh, you know, rough house, like, because I used to be the kid who got the little bag of food on Fridays and shit. They knew I got free lunch, like, so they vaguely knew my situation. But honestly, I don't think a single teacher has ever known how bad it really was. Like my freshman year of high school, my entire freshman year, I was homeless the entire time, and I actually left school for a month to go to the mental hospital. Ain't nobody knew that. Honestly, when I like randomly left school one day, like everybody thought like I went to jail or I moved or some shit. Like I was like, girl, what? But it's because I couldn't tell anybody anything, so I just like popped back in after a month, like, hey, what's up, you guys? They're like, yeah, where did you go? So it's different. And I think that happened in middle school. I think there was a rumor that went around that I killed myself because I just like left school one day, and I'm like, and too many times that happened. But I'm going on a weird tangent right now, but yeah, I'm all smiling and happy, like, but it's because I haven't had any sleep. And I do feel like I'm in, I guess, better spirits explaining this than last time, but it's because of my tendency to like, when I tell you I analyze myself to a compulsive degree, it's actually kind of scary. Like listening to it back, and even like reading my own writing back, it's like, call the lady right now. But it's because I spent so much time in there. And I know this so well, and I know me so well. And I have like an outsider perspective of myself, but I also know the inside. Like it's weird to put into words, but I'm telling you, like that fucking video was like, it's so fucking insane to watch back. So I'm like, what the fuck? And also I'm a terrible person, basically. That's what I'm like, oh, I'm a terrible person. And it's like, you're ill. And it's like, I don't even think it's like some other fucking like special mental, like I don't think I have bipolar or like OCD or anything. Like I know I have depression. They've been telling me. They never stopped fucking telling me. I was first ever diagnosed with depression as an elementary schooler, and they kept going into my 20s. Like they never stopped telling me that shit. So I already know. But the other shit, I already said why that happens. But what was the point of this? I don't know. I think I watched that video and it like fucking fucked me up a little bit. And then I was like reading the journals and stuff, and that's where it got me to here. And also I feel kind of bad. I feel kind of bad, but I don't know. Next time I'm gonna come back like talking about the whole school part, because I didn't even talk about like summer classes in my internship. Like, see, that's why I don't have time to talk about, like, I don't have time to go to the doctor. I actually don't have time for that right now. I actually have real, and that was the issue. I never addressed any of this stuff because there's always shit I had to do. So it's like, I'll be my own therapist. Don't do that. 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 Like, too much self-awareness actually is bad for you. Actually is bad for you. Your brain's gonna start what's that word? Atrophying. Is there? Fuck. Good night.